I can't even begin to tell you just how much of a snooze fest CES 2026 was this year, but honestly, it's also not surprising it's come to this, as I had attended a few closed doors events last year, and the tonal shift from all of these tech corporations was pretty obvious. This year, the focus was going to be on AI, and it was going to be even more profound than the previous years we saw it, whether it was Nvidia, AMD, or Intel. I checked out of all of their keynotes probably within like 10 minutes, as I knew that there was nothing of interest for PC gamers. In fact, the 9850X3D was the only bit of sprinkled dust, and that wasn't even announced during the actual keynote from AMD, but rather from independent tech media. My god. In any case, today we're going to be talking about the 9850X3D and why this CPU is really just a plain old nothing burger from AMD. Let's get into it.
Hey, if you enjoy content like this, drop a like, make sure to subscribe, and smash that bell so you never miss another video.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Danny here. Welcome back to the channel, and I hope you're all doing well. CES 2026 is well underway, and I'm sure most of you guys who have been watching the keynotes and coverage from tech media are probably feeling like there's a lot more left to be desired here. I'll be honest with you guys, as someone who's been watching CES for like the last 15, 16 years, this year's conference is hands down the most boring conference I've ever seen. I didn't even bother to check out Nvidia's conference. I saw like 5 minutes of it because it was an entire discussion surrounding AI and the data center. And I know they held a separate GeForce stream later on, but that was really only focusing on the new upscaler model along with the dynamic frame generation, which, I'm not sure how many people really asked for it. If it's there, cool, test it out, see how you like it. AMD's conference was pretty much the same thing as Nvidia's. Like, there was literally nothing of interest to you if you're a PC gamer or just a regular consumer, which is ironic when you think about it because it's called the Consumer Electronics Show, not the Business or Enterprise Electronics Show.
That tonight is all about AI. AI, the power of AI. AI everywhere, then AI. AI is going to be everywhere. AI is for everyone. AI. We don't have nearly enough compute for everything that we can possibly do. AI everywhere, AI.
And their belief, or at least this facade that a lot of these corporate execs are trying to put on, is that don't worry, this is all going to trickle down eventually to the regular consumer. This is going to make your lives 100 times better. Don't worry about it. Just, keep on consuming that AI slop. It's going to get better for you guys. It's going to totally enhance your experience. Don't worry about the layoffs, don't worry about the rising costs and electricity bills. Just wait, you're going to be super happy about AI. Anyways, I digress. Honestly, I thought Intel's conference was probably the most interesting, or had the most interesting segments, because they had sections talking about the upcoming Panther Lake mobile chips. And on this channel and previously, I really haven't had much interest in mobile chips, but my interest in their mobile segment along with AMD's has certainly been growing, because last year I got my hands on an MSI Claw, and I also have a lot of other people who are very much interested in these handhelds as well. So that's something worth definitely checking out. But even that was short-lived, and they had pivoted to AI for the rest of their keynote, and I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. But in any case, I wanted to circle back because AMD, they have announced a new product that is targeted towards gamers, although they never specifically mentioned it during their keynote because, like I said, they were all focused on the AI and business side of things. But the other reason why they probably didn't is because it's basically a nothing burger. AMD announced the 9850X3D, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But along with that, enthusiasts and gamers were expecting an announcement of the rumored dual V-cache CPU, the 9950X3D2. And that would have been a 16-core CPU with each of the CCDs having 3D V-cache on it, which would have been certainly something more interesting. And I've been talking to people who own the 9950X3D, and they've complained about, the scheduler not properly doing thread management, because depending on the workload or the game, it either benefits from a lot of cache or frequency. And then this calls for user intervention, which people are having to resort to configuring options in the BIOS, using Ryzen Master or third-party options like Process Lasso. And my buddy Eric from eRock on Tech actually made a video on his channel showcasing the issues with the scheduler and how you can solve it using Process Lasso. So definitely check it out if you want some help with that. But apparently AMD told Tech Media to stay tuned, whatever that means, when questioned about the 9950X3D2, which Great name, by the way. Probably implying that it's going to be coming out later on this year. I guess they're just waiting to see how demand goes or what the landscape will look like given the whole DRAM crisis and everything. Now, when it comes to the 9850X3D, the reason why I call this chip a nothing burger is because when we take a look at its specs, all that this is offering over the original 9800X3D, which came out in late 2024, is a 400 MHz boost clock jump, up from 5.2 GHz to 5.6 GHz. And that's it. And to be fair, I wasn't expecting anything major, nor should you have been expecting anything major as well, because that's going to happen when AMD announces Zen 6. And from what I'm hearing, that won't be announced until much later this year. Initially, I was hearing Computex of 2026, but like I said, given this whole DRAM situation and, the PC consumer DIY market kind of being cratered there, I'm hearing it's going to be now shifted towards later Q4 of 2026, but, we'll see about that. So essentially, all AMD have done here is repeated the same strategy they did with the Ryzen 3000 series, where they released a 3800 XT and a 3900 XT, which offered a 100 or 200 megahertz clock speed bump over the vanilla products. A lot of reviewers called them pointless, a waste of sand, and that's basically what the 9850X3D is when you think about it. Or another way you can look at this is when Intel would release a KS SKU of their flagship processors, basically the 12900KS or 14900KS, and all they offered over the original SKUs was like a 200 megahertz clock speed bump, which translates to very minuscule single-digit performance gains. And to that note, when you take a look at 5.6 gigahertz versus 5.2 gigahertz, that's about an 8% difference in boost clock speed. But games don't always scale linearly like that, so it's going to be more like 2 to 4% on average. The other thing I wanted to point out was, how reliably is this thing going to be boosting to 5.6 gigahertz in most people's systems? Or how well is AMD going to bend these processors? Because last year, I made a video talking about how the power limits AMD had set for the 9800X3D were rather high, and that video actually got tons of views and gained a whole bunch of traction because there were so many people in the comments who ran into that same problem and were experiencing high temperature issues with their chips. So I showed how even if you aggressively lower the power limits, you don't lose any FPS, your clock speeds don't go down, but your temps and power draw go down dramatically. So if the 9850X3D runs into that same problem, it may not even be consistently holding its clock speeds, and that will completely diminish its advantage over the original product. So then what's the point? Along with that, you can basically attain the same level of performance yourself by leveraging PBO and Curve Optimizer to get another 200 megahertz out of your 9800X3D, which would basically give you like 99% of the performance of this upcoming 9850X3D would offer. So if you're wondering, how does this CPU or this upcoming CPU, how is it going to perform against some of the other popular CPUs on the market, like a 285K or 14900K? Well, recently I posted a 3-way CPU battle on my channel with those two CPUs in many of the modern titles that are being played, so definitely check that out if you're interested. AMD did post their own in-house benchmarks, of course, where they compared it to the 285K, and it looks like an absolute bloodbath because Arrow Lake out of the box is just atrocious for gaming. On a side note, though, I just can't wait for Nova Lake to also come out so that way we can have some, fierce competition in the market. I always am a firm believer of that because that is what's going to drive innovation and drive lower prices for consumers. So you guys should all be rooting for that. And I think Nova Lake is also slated to come out later this year, I think Q3 or Q4, but again, we'll see about that. But they did also compare it against their own 9800X3D, which I thought was interesting. And yeah, to nobody's surprise, it's just a 3% difference. So yeah, that's basically the 9850X3D in a nutshell. And what will ultimately make or break this product will be if it is priced appropriately. If it's priced at the same price as the original 9800X3D and that chip will be discounted and or discontinued, then yeah, I don't think anyone's really going to make a big deal out of that. The 9800X3D is still currently the best-selling CPU, or one of the best-selling CPUs. You can take a look at the top Newegg and Amazon bestsellers. So, AMD doesn't really have a huge incentive anyway to discount it any further. But they could also be mimicking that Intel strategy and then sell this chip with an extra premium, like an extra $50 or $100, which would, I think, in my opinion, just make it DOA and pointless. But I know there will be a select few, hardcore fanboys that will certainly and gladly pay for that markup, just like how there were people paying for the markup on the 14900 KS or 12900 KS. Anyways, those are my thoughts on the 9850 X3D. It's a cash grab, honestly. Just try buying a discounted 9800 X3D, or heck, check prices on 7800 X3Ds. I've seen great deals on that chip as well, if you want to stick with AM5, that is. That's going to wrap it up for this one. We'll touch base in the next video. Take care.
If you guys found this video to be informative and entertaining, then leave a like. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. Be sure to check out the video description for cool links and ways to support the channel, such as using my Amazon affiliate link. And if you're interested in seeing more content like this, then consider subscribing. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.